when I went out in the ocean for the first time and just saw Garibaldi and kelp and kelpfish and sculpins, I mean, that was the beginning of a new phase of my life. It just changed me.
%90 of the big fish have been taken out of the ocean. That means 90% of the grouper, the tuna, the sharks are all gone. When you take big predators out of the ocean, it changes the entire ecology of the ocean. I do the camera work and direct the camera work. Michelle gets the permits, makes sure the crew gets on the boat, gets to and from these countries safely, make sure 8,000 pounds of equipment gets to places like Papua New Guinea and back through customs, and that leaves me with the job of photographing the fish, which is really the fun part. You'll notice the divers' voices get higher and higher as the sequence goes on, as more and more sharks show up.
Launch the camera, copy that. Call.
After you've been doing this for a few days, you tend to quit paying attention. That was definitely a whoops. That's the highest level of praise we ever get for our work, is when a young person writes us and saying that seeing one of our films changed the entire direction of their life for the better.
Just as Jacques Cousteau did with television, as I've tried to do with the large IMAX screen, show people how magnificent the oceans are so that people can feel the same love that Bob and I feel and want to save them. You have to get that passion behind everyone. You have to show them what's at stake, what's to be lost. You know, I'm an absolute believer in the power of media to change the way people think about things. I've seen it happen with IMAX films or films on your iPhone, where people can see an image, hear a message, and understand something through the power of visual. You know, it's very easy to forget about the ocean because we all live on land and it's far away and it looks flat and beautiful. But once you dive into it and see the changes that have occurred just in the past 50 years, you recognize that in order for us to live successfully on land, we have to treat that resource, the resource that gave us life, much more carefully.
We can create our own wave of movement to look after the ocean, that all of us together can make a difference so that it's safe and clean for the generations to come. My love of the ocean and the beach morphed into a business, my career, my family. You know, we have the same where half the world's population lives at the beach and the other half can't wait to get there. I mean, everyone thinks of something wonderful about the ocean, the beach, the tropics, but where the water meets the turf.
I mean, they put their life at risk. Thankfully, there's lifeguards and jet skis and all that are cruising around, you know, helping them when they get in serious danger. But I'm not telling you, this part of the sport has progressed to a level that's so far beyond anything that any of us experienced when we were young. I mean, you just sit on a jet ski alongside some of these waves, the sheer visual power and noise of them would just scare the holy you-know-what out of you. And to me, it's beyond. It's just so amazing. I have so much respect for them.
Riding a surfboard is probably the most fun and pure sport there is. It's not just riding the wave, it's sitting outside and feeling the rhythms of nature beneath you and being a part of something that is so immense and powerful. And it's a spiritual thing. Not only that, but it's also sitting there and feeling this wondrous connection, and you're sitting next to your buddy. and you're talking about life, and you're waiting for a wave, because 90% of surfing is waiting. The joy is really in those connections that you get in the water, and then of course the wave is just the icing.
Media is the most powerful connector there is, and especially the media that these surf, skate, snow companies have around it. It's the only sport where you're actually riding something that's moving, and so it's very fluid, it's very dynamic, and the surfing's gotten more and more progressive over the years. So the sport has advanced, it's changed, it's more radical, more dynamic.
This is all I'm going to do at a very early age. I was 13, 14, and I was sold. That was it. I was going to find a way to surf every day.
I love challenges. When I find myself, at that level, hey, I'm comfortable surfing this size of wave. It's all right. Okay, what's the next step? Where's the next wave to challenge myself at, or how much bigger, can I go?